that's true. I mean, I remember when, as you mentioned as well, it's good to have the skill set there. You know, the saying goes, better to have it, not need it, need it, not have it.
Oh,
And
sure.
That's one thing my karate instructor, my sensei, would say that to me as well. He would just say, just if you get into an altercation with anybody, like I say, just try your best, diffuse the situation with words, kind words. They do not want, if they want to take it south, at least you have the training ready, backed up, and you can still walk away. That's what it is.
Absolutely, yeah.
There's no point. You do come across a few people who can be quite arrogant with their martial arts skills, but they don't learn the whole philosophy behind it, where you have to remain calm, peaceful, and not just, yes, I can do this, yes, I can do that.
Yeah,
That's just seeking attention, isn't it, in the wrong way?
absolutely. And I've seen it firsthand. A number of fighters that obviously they've trained for a bit, so they have a particular skill set, and of course they carry it around, and it defines who they are then, and it kind of almost owns them. And I think stuff like that, like pride comes before a fall. If you're constantly like that, you're going to go up against a real tough guy that probably won't back down. But a majority now, thankfully, of the people that I train with, all very, very humble. To meet them outside of the martial arts gym, you wouldn't know that they're fighters. And I think it's a wonderful thing that you just got these lovely people who are just genuinely nice. But if things were to kind of escalate, you know that they could handle the situation. And I think sometimes when you are in that confrontational scenario with somebody, you almost give off a vibe because you're so calm and so zen, and the other person can sense that. It's almost that they're intuitive to think, whoa, hang on a minute, this guy or woman can handle themselves. There's just something about them, the way that they're carrying themselves. I'm just going to back away. And that's happened a few times. It's weird. It's almost like a Jedi mind trick. It's just that they kind of pick up on it and know, so they walk away. Whereas some people, you can hear it in their voice. They're agitated. They're perhaps tripping over their words. Shoulders are back and they're flexed and fists are pumped. And you're kind of just stood there with your arms by your sides or whatever it is, you know, and they must pick up on that and think, actually, no, this guy's a little bit too calm. That's quite worrying.
Yeah.
It's going to back away. So, yeah, a lot of the time, just the way that you carry yourself will get you out of predicaments 9 times out of 10.
That's good. And that is the true lesson of and the true essence of martial arts, isn't it?
Yeah. And yeah,
So why?
you're absolutely right. It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Because I always think anybody can throw a punch. You ask somebody to throw a punch, they throw a punch. You ask somebody to kick something or someone, let's say, they can do that. Everybody can do that, but it's how you do it. So when you do get into that altercation, an untrained fighter against a trained fighter, unfortunately, it's very one-sided, because the trained fighter will have that fight finished within a matter of seconds because they just know what to do, or they can read the other person.
Oh yeah, that is for sure. They've got the strategy booked out already, haven't they?
Yeah, and a lot of people they telegraph what they're going to do in terms of they show you their hand, if you like, what they're about to do. So someone throwing a punch, they'll wind it right up here. So you think, okay, well, or they'll come sort of like that. And you think, well, yeah, okay, there's a big right hand haymaker about to hit on me. But you're just there and you can just throw a punch just straight down the pipe. And it's weird. You just kind of see it, and you're right, yeah, touching on the Matrix, it's a little bit sort of weird. So you just suddenly start seeing it. You start seeing all these things happening before they happen, so you can kind of get in there before.
That's true. So it's planning ahead, and there's nothing wrong with that. And so one last question, Scott. Who is your biggest inspiration in both acting and martial arts?
My biggest inspiration for, let's say, martial arts, because that come first, There's probably two. So the first guy is sadly he's passed away now, but his name was Ramon Deckers or Ramon Deckers, however you want to pronounce. People pronounce it differently, and he was a Dutch guy, and he was Muay Thai fighter or Dutch kickboxer.
Okay.
And he basically was one of the first, if you like, foreigners to go into the Thai sport and just take their world by storm. I mean, he was kind of like destroying fighters that have had hundreds of fights, and to watch footage of him in his prime, it's incredible. It really, really is. And I still watch his fights now online, and still pick up things and kind of little moves that he does and think, wow, I didn't think of that I could add that into my game. So yeah, he was a huge inspiration for me, just to see that kind of what he'd done and the legacy that he left behind, and all the Thais took him to heart as well, made him one of their own, which was a beautiful thing that they just welcomed him in because he was just so good. And then the other person that kind of is up there for me is, and I've luckily had the opportunity to train with this guy twice already, and his name is John Wayne Parr, and he's an Australian Muay Thai fighter. Absolutely amazing guy, and so funny as well. He is literally a laugh a minute. He's a really lovely guy. And this is the whole thing about having somebody outside of the gym that you look at. You wouldn't think that he's a fighter because he's just this comical guy, very laid back, doesn't take life too seriously, and yeah, he's just a wonderful aura about him. And he carries that into the gym as well. So when you're training with him, he's got a wonderful way of teaching you. So yeah, he's another one. So I've had the opportunity to train with him twice now, and both times he never disappoints. So they're those two. In terms of the acting, I don't tend to have too many role models. I admire different actors for different reasons, but if I had to narrow it down to two that I think, yeah, they're the guys, is the first one is Jared Leto.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah,
I think he's a phenomenal actor, so versatile, and can throw himself into different roles as well, effortlessly. And he's one of those people that, like Christian Bale, he takes the acting so seriously. He's one of these method actors, so he will gain a lot of weight, lose a lot of weight. He'll really dive into the character, and I think that takes a lot, both mentally and physically. So
it does, because there was, sorry to cut you, there was a movie he did called was it Chapter 27?
Yeah,
and he actually broke the record for an actor to gain so much weight, and they said it took a lot of toll on his physical body as well, inside and outside as well.
Yeah,
he was completely unrecognizable, and when he did Requiem for a Dream, he cut out certain things, didn't he?
Yeah,
no sugar, no entertainment, no nothing.
Yeah, same with when he done Dallas Buyers Club as well. Lost an awful lot of weight to play his character there. I actually read something. Well, actually, no, tell a lie. He was doing an interview with somebody on a talk show, and they're talking about Chapter 27, and they were saying, like, obviously you ate all the wrong foods and stuff like that to gain all the weight. Is that kind of like how you done it? And he said, yeah. He said one of the things that he actually done in the States, they've got the huge tubs of ice cream, the big tubs,
that's true.
Tubs of Haagen-Dazs and stuff. He said he would every day he'd put one of those in the microwave, melt it, and just drink it like a milkshake. Like just doing it. I mean, they're calorific. So yeah, props to him to do that in the first place, and then to lose it all as well. So I think for an actor that really takes their role so seriously and becomes very believable, he's the guy. I think the other guy that I just like because he just looks like a fun character is Tom Hardy, and I think that's one of a lot of people's go to is Tom Hardy. But I just think that he's just such a fun guy. He picks these roles, and again, he's one of these that really takes it seriously. Very versatile, and I think he'd be great to hang out with as well off camera. I just think
He would.
It would be such a comical guy. I just got this feeling. But I never
Just
had.
ask him. Yeah, just ask him not to bring Venom along with him. Then you'll be all right.
Yeah, keep the symbiote back at home. But yeah, I've never had the opportunity to work with either of those guys. Hopefully, fingers crossed, one day. I did get asked for Peaky Blinders, and I had to email back and say, well, you do realise I'm head to toe in tattoos, right? And this is a period drama.
Oh yeah.
And they come to their senses, and then I was cut from that. So that's as close as I came to almost working with him. But yeah, so I think my two main people that I admire the most, Jared Leto and Tom Hardy. But yeah, for both different reasons.
Yeah. Funny thing is, they've both played Batman villains as well, haven't they? They've played.
Right.
Hardy's played Bane, and Leto's just recently played the Joker again.
That's
love
right.
to see him. Love to see him back as the Joker.
Yeah,
I think he deserves a bit more credit for that.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, and now they've come back over to Marvel. Now they're both Marvel characters. You've got Jared Leto as Morbius, which comes out.
Can't wait for that.
Yeah, that looks good. Then obviously you've got Tom Hardy, as you already mentioned, as Venom. So yeah, they've kind of shifted from the DC universe over to the Marvel one. So yeah, must be a thing about playing a DC villain. You have to come over to Marvel. Then that's kind of like your acceptance.
Yeah, that's like their quote audition, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah, that's kind of like, yeah, that's the dress rehearsal, and then this is the real deal.
Here's the stage performance. Go for it.
Yeah.
Well, Scott, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you. Thank you again so much for coming on the show. And hopefully we meet again soon and grab a coffee or something.
Yeah, sure.
And if I'm ever down wherever you are, and if you're ever in Nottingham, by all means, just come over. Let's just chill, relax. Yeah, and it'll be great to see you again. And again, we wish you all the best.
Thank you for having me. Again, I really enjoyed it.
Pleasures. The honour's all mine. The honour's all ours. And I do speak on behalf of the team who work on AddiBiotics as well.
Oh, it's very kind of you. Yeah, well, extend my thanks and gratitude to them all.
I'm sure they've heard it now.
Yeah, they're giving a thumbs up in the background.
Yeah, because they're all there.
That's hundreds of them.
Thank you very much. Well, again, see you soon. And again, we wish you all the best. Thank you, Scott.
No worries. Thanks very much.
All the best. Thank you.